What's up, my friends? I have a little bit of a raspy voice today. I'm realizing the more that I keep talking. So I had a schedule thing today happening 9 to 10, and it didn't end up happening. So it gave me opportunity to do some things. And one of the things I wanted to do was come on here and make a Facebook Live, because this week I am talking all about money. And, I always talk about money, but this week it's really all about money. And here's the thing. With what's happening right now, there's so much happening right now. Having money and feeling okay about money, not having the worries about money. Let me tell you that worrying about money can make you sick. Worrying about money can ruin a relationship if you don't already know that. Worrying about money will make you snap at your kids. Worrying about money influences the kind of friends you have, the kind of things that you allow yourself to do, the kind of pleasure and joy you have in your life. But I also know that money is very triggering. Money talk triggers people, right? So let's talk about this for a moment. There's so many ways that we block our own blessings and that we say no to things. We cut off the opportunity before it even happens. And I want to talk about this one. Today, I was speaking to one of my participants that was in Money Miracles last season, like 2 months ago. And she's an affiliate now, so that means that she can share it and that I'll pay her if anyone signs up. So we were talking, and she's like, I have some people that are super interested in this. However, they are feeling like they can't afford it. And she was like, so it's very interesting watching from this side of the fence this time around, because I know what it's like to be there, where you feel like you can't afford something, but you want it. So what do you do? Let's talk about the energetics of this, because I talk about this a lot. I've done a whole podcast on this. I talked about this when I did my 5-day challenge before. So I want you to first think about something right now that may be on your heart that you desire it. And when I say desire, let's really break down the desire. Not just like that would be nice or that's cool. I would buy that if I had the money. I'm talking about a true desire. So to me, when there's a true desire, you are connected to the fact that this thing, this opportunity, this material, whatever it is going to bring great value to your life. Meaning that it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel more aligned. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to make you excited. All of these things really do matter. And what I like to tell people is that when you're living in survival mode, you only focus on your needs. So think about this for a moment. When you're living in survival mode, you only focus on your needs, and you don't focus on like what would be nice, what would feel good, what would be adding more pleasure and joy to your life, right? I'm trying to get this set up in a way that feels really good, but I think I'll just have to hold it here. All right. So first check in with yourself and ask, what's the thing that's on my heart that I really desire? Like, what is that thing? Is there something that you're wanting for your family? Is there something that you're wanting for your business? Is there something that you're wanting for your own personal growth? Is there some sort of experience, some sort of adventure? For me, these things really do matter when it comes to even your soul's purpose, because here's the deal. You may think that to fulfill your soul's purpose, all you need is some sort of schooling, or that you just need to read some sort of book or say yes to a business. But to fulfill your soul's purpose, we need to really allow you to blossom into all that you can be. And for you to blossom into all that you can be, it requires you to say yes to where your heart is guiding you to go. So whether it is to say yes to buying the flowers, say yes to the dress that makes you feel beautiful and gives you confidence, whether it is saying yes to the program that is going to teach you how to change the way you see yourself and change the way you show up in life, whether it is saying yes to a car or a home, all of these things have the capacity to shift who you are on an identity level, and then shift how you feel in your body and in your mind and in your spirit. So we must reevaluate this I can't afford it conversation, because here's what happens to people. Without even giving it too much thought, they have like sticker shock. If there's an amount that does not reflect what they have in their bank account or more than what they have in their bank account, meaning like it's not, or excuse me, that you don't have too much of a cushion beyond that, you automatically, unconsciously say, I can't afford it. So think about this. When was the time that you did this? You were hearing about something, you were learning about something, and you were like, this sounds good. Yes, I want to do this. I actually just saw like thousands of people do this in the Tony Robbins event this past weekend. Like all of these people in this chat, there was a chat and there's hundreds and hundreds of people just in my chat room, but there's 23,000 people that were in the whole event. And I watched them being like, oh my God, this is amazing. Type it in the chat. This is great. And then they see the amount and they're like, and this was like, $10,000, $15,000 programs. One was $85,000. And they were like, oh, that's just too much. Oh, I can't do it. But here's what I want you to do. I want to give you this. I'm giving you an actual tool that you can work with here. First, you have to know what it is that you want and why you want it, right? Because if you're clear that something's going to change your life, the more that you lean into this is going to change my life. This is going to make me feel differently. This is going to make me see my world differently. This is going to make me see my money differently. This is going to make me see my business differently. Whatever that story is, pump it up. Get hype about it. Get excited. And then this is where you start working with infinite intelligence. And this is exactly what I did. Like, this is what I still do. Because half the things that I want, I'm not going to say half, I don't know, maybe more than half, but a lot of the things that I desire are beyond my like right now reach, right? So it's like the money is not necessarily sitting in a savings account, nor is it sitting on a credit card or something, but the desire is there. I know it will grow me. I know I will grow in the path to going to make that money, to receiving that money, to stretching my belief system to say, I'm the kind of woman that has that. I'm the kind of woman that does that. So there's so much transformation just in that transaction. But we have to be willing to ask ourselves, how can I afford it? How can I? So even for me, let's say this past weekend, one of the things that I wanted to do was definitely out of my right now, here and now range. And my friends and I were talking because we're like, let's make a commitment to join this in January. And as we were doing that, it's like, I started thinking, I was like, okay, well, there's going to be not only the payment for this program, that's like $85,000, but then the travel and what's Chanel going to do? Like, there was a lot of things that are beyond my current belief system, right? But that's great because I don't want to keep staying here where I am now. And I think this is what people miss out on, is that when you are saying, I can't afford it, that's not for me, what you are essentially saying, we can translate this into, I'm not ready to be that yet. I'm not ready to transform into that yet. I'm not ready to stretch into that yet. And this really comes down to our beliefs, and it comes down to our money energetics. So there's two options whenever something comes about and you're like, can I afford it? Can I not afford it? Am I willing to stretch into this, right? So like I asked you a couple of minutes ago, think about that one thing that you want to jump into. What's the one thing that you want to do right now? Like, what's that one thing that, hi Jen, what's that one thing that is on your heart, but you've already bought into the belief that you can't afford it? What is that? Is it a material thing? Is it a program or service? Is it you going on a vacation once this stuff opens back up? What is it? I know for me, with the Money Miracles course, this is happening to women right now. I'm hearing about it in my emails. I'm hearing about it in my DMs, where women are like, I want to do this. I want to have this kind of support, but I can't afford it, even with the payment plans. Now, here's what I want to tell you. This may trigger you, but know that if it triggers you, I want you to journal on it and I want you to be with it. All right? If you cannot afford $200 a month or $400 a month on your own growth and development, on you being supported, you can't afford to miss it. You can't afford to miss anything that's going to teach you about your money mindset if you can't afford $200 a month. If you can't afford to spend $200 a month on your growth, you have to ask yourself, how long are you willing to stay in that space? And I know that that's triggering. I know that can piss you off. I know old me would have been talking to this version of me like, you don't know who I am. You don't know all my problems. You don't know, it's hard being a single mom. Trust me, I've been there, and that's why I say this to you. But what I had to get really honest about with myself was, how long am I going to keep fighting for this reality until I'm willing to start stretching into a new reality? And we have the opportunity to stretch in a new reality at any given time, but it's going to take our faith and courage, because we're going to have to say, where I am right now does not reflect where I desire to be. And I have so much more to give. I have so much more to experience, and I'm ready to have such bigger faith. And it's going to require me to have bigger faith, and I'm willing to have it. Now, here's the thing that happens. Some people will be like, well, Nicole, I tried that before. I gave all my money to this thing and it didn't work out. You didn't monitor your energy along the way. And I know that because I've done that with myself, where there are times where I make an investment, or I say yes to something big. I say yes to something juicy. And the entire time, from the time I invest to the entire, that I experience something that doesn't feel good, or I'm like, oh my God, I manifested what I thought was going to happen. I feel fear. So I live in the fear. I live in the drama. I live in the, what if it doesn't work? Well, that's what we're going to experience. But what I've experienced for me, and I'll tell you, 1 year ago, I couldn't imagine living even how I live right now. Like I doubled my rent to live here where I live in Newport Beach. I doubled my rent in the middle of COVID in April. Not only did I double my rent, but I was like, I'm already investing $2,000 a month in my coaching program that I'm in. And then I decided to buy a Mercedes just because I needed a new car. And I was like, isn't that really extra, doubling your rent and getting a new Mercedes? Like, do you really need to do that, Nicole? Like, I was having I did a whole podcast on all of my limiting beliefs that came up during this. So you can check it out on Miracle Minded. But I'm trying to tell you that I live these things. But the difference is, and this is what I teach in my Money Miracles course, is the energetics of consistently going back to your baseline and asking, am I in fear right now? Do I feel safe right now? And if you don't feel safe and you feel in fear, you have to do the things with your body, mind, and spirit to get back aligned and continue to do the work. You cannot allow fear to take over. Fear is what's taking you into the same patterns that some of you will die in the patterns. Like it's sad, but I've seen it in my family where there's a pattern of, one day this is going to change. One day I'm going to get over this fear. One day I'm going to live a better life. One day I'm going to have more money. But like I said in the beginning of this call, I always call these Facebook Lives. If you cannot afford $200 a month for yourself, ask yourself, is this really where I want to live? And you can say all of this, and I'm going to say it's bullshit. I don't need money to be happy, but let's be really clear. Wallace Wattles was talking about this back in the early 1900s, right? You cannot, as a woman in 2020 and beyond, live your fullest life while not being able to afford $200 a month. And here's why. Your soul is forever expanding. You are being called to grow. The things, the people, the places, the opportunity that you're being called to grow into, it's going to require you to have money. And that's okay, because money is not a bad thing. You don't get mad at requiring lemons for your water. You don't get mad at requiring, salads and stuff for your body. Why get mad at money for having a requirement to have more money? The only reason you would be mad at that is because you're triggered. Whenever I see someone get triggered by what I'm saying about money, if I look at their bank accounts, they don't have money. They have a lot of money guilt. They have a lot of money resentment. They have a lot of money triggers. And this is an invitation, right? I want to just say this. Monday, we start Money Miracles. Friday, enrollment closes at midnight. This program is life-changing. There's probably some of the ladies that are here, they've done it. This program is life-changing. What we do is we go into the energetics of money. So we start to unravel these stories of, I can't afford it. That's not for me. I'm not the kind of woman who does that. I'm not the kind of woman that can afford that. I'm not the kind of woman that charges that. I'm not the kind of woman that receives that kind of money. And what happens is I've seen women that had so much guilt and resentment because they had so much debt. I had women that couldn't afford, they said they couldn't afford to get in the program. But these women got into the program. They did the work. And we literally, all of us as a group, witnessed their miracles as we went on, because they kept doing the work, and they would just show up, do the work, ask the questions, be coached by me, and their life began to change. Because here's the thing, it's about letting go more than it is about taking things on. For women, there is a literal level of healing that has to transpire when it comes to us and our money. If you're someone that felt that in your body when I said that you are not going to have any, like you're not going to get anywhere by not having $200 to invest in yourself, even if you believe when you look at your bank that you can't, even if you believe that when you look at your bank that you don't have it, it's shifting into the infinite part of you. The infinite part of you knows a way for you to get it. You are infinitely resourced. And these are the things that I teach in Money Miracles. But not only do I teach it, I help you embody it to make it a reality. Now, Jen was in Money Miracles, Money, Shame, and Guilt, digging deeper into my own beliefs around money. Love this so much. So I spoke to Michelle, who was in Money Miracles last round, and she said that she was redoing Money Miracles right now. I talked to Anita, who was in Money Miracles last round. She's redoing Money Miracles right now. This is a course that I go through it with you for the first 6 weeks. And for the people that pay in full, you get VIP, which this wasn't there last time. And if you do VIP, you are getting 5 coaching sessions with me. That means that you and I in the small intimate group, right now VIP is intimate because a lot of people are doing payment plans. If you join this program and you do it VIP especially, you're going to have 5 times to ask me whatever it is about your deepest fears, your limiting beliefs, your things with your job, the things with your relationship. They're all related, ladies, because guess what? Wealth consciousness is worth consciousness. And that means that how you treat yourself and what you believe that you are worthy of right now, right here today, that is all you're going to allow into your life. There will be opportunities that come your way and you will make stories about why they're not for you. There will be beautiful ways that you could be making money, but you will talk yourself out of it because you don't believe it's for you. This is why it is imperative that we do the work and heal our wealth consciousness. And right now, as women, it's needed more than ever. We need women to be thriving right here and right now. And if you continue to tell yourself, I don't need that, I want you to understand that needing is a survival thing. I want you to really feel that energetic. To have this conversation, women do this to themselves when they're about to go get a Starbucks. They're about to go get a coffee. The coffee is only going to delight them, right? Because the coffee is only going to bring them delight, they say, I don't need it. Have you done that? Have you done this? Women do this with the shirt, the dress, the lip gloss. You know, like I love the Chanel lip gloss. I'm all about it, right? They do it with their nails. They do it with these programs. Do I really need it? No. What do you really need? You need water. You need some food. You need to breathe oxygen. That's all you really need. But when you start rationalizing what you need and keeping yourself stuck because you're living in survival mode, let me tell you that so much of that is unconscious and it's in your nervous system. And until you do the deep digging and do the work and start getting support to see these blind spots, it will never change. It won't change. It does not change on its own. It's something that has been programmed into you. And I want you to get that. So here's the deal. You have an opportunity. You have an opportunity. You can spend the next 6 weeks with me. We start on Monday. Your life will change. We work. Hi, Julie. Thank you for sharing. And by the way, any of you that are on here live, you know that you know someone that does this to themselves. You know a woman that does this to themselves. They guilt themselves for buying the flowers. They guilt themselves for buying the dress. They guilt themselves for buying the Starbucks. Please tag them. Please tag them. Because here's the deal. We can't keep living like that as women. That is called survival. And if we're living in survival, we'll never thrive. If I had this conversation with myself, I was like, do I really need to spend $4,600 on an apartment? Well, no. And if $4,600 feels like a stretch, I don't want to live there because I want to be able to afford $20,000 a month. So I got to quit defending the $4,600 a month. I gotta stop defending it. Yes, I could live in a place that costs $3,000 a month, a bigger place with a yard and a pool. Yes, that's true. But if I want to live in a place that makes me feel really alive and makes me feel luxurious and that has concierge and takes care of all of my needs like a 5-star resort, then I cannot keep defending why I don't need it. I need to surrender to this step and say yes to it so that I can see myself living in the oceanfront thing. Do you guys get that? Does that make sense? And no worries for not saying hi. I totally understand. So I'm glad you shared it. So here's the thing. When we live in survival mode and we live in this place, especially for you mamas, do I have any moms that are listening to this? I knew for sure I didn't want my daughter standing in front of a freaking menu and looking at the items of what she can afford and what she can't afford, or buying into this programming of I can only buy what feels like I can get it, or I'm only going to allow myself to enjoy the things that I feel like are safe for me to enjoy. I stopped looking at prices on menus a long time ago, but I'll tell you this, sometimes when my daughter starts ordering $75 steaks and adds a $30 crab on top, I'm like, you know you're getting a $100 meal right now. But then I'm like, okay, calm down. Like for some reason, I make it okay for me. And then when my daughter starts doing it, I'm like, there's two of us. There's this another level of stretching and expanding. But I want you to really feel into this survival mode, because some people will think that living in survival mode means that you are like living and barely making your rent, but that's not the reality. I have women that I've coached that have their PhDs and that have a ongoing practice in their therapy or whatever they're doing, and they're living in survival mode because they really don't allow themselves to have the things that feel good. And I want you to understand that when you feel good, your reality upgrades. Now let's hear from Jen, who was in Money Miracles, because I remember we all celebrated her when she did this. She said, I invested in new bras and a new skirt for myself during this program because of how they made me feel. I definitely told myself I didn't need them, but in reality, I needed new bras and it gave me a different level of freedom. It's these little things. I want you to know that there was a woman in Money Miracles, and she wrote a testimonial, so she doesn't mind even sharing this, but when she first reached out to me about Money Miracles, she was like, I can't afford it. And I was like, okay, she can't afford it. So she went off and bought my meditation retreat, the virtual meditation retreat. That's only $147. So it's a different price difference, right? So she goes and does it in 2 days, and she comes back to me and she goes, I changed my mind. I have to get in Money Miracles. So she comes into Money Miracles. She joins paid in full, likely on a credit card, because she came to me and says, I have all of this credit card debt and I feel really guilty and I feel like my family shames me for it. And she just had so much guilt and shame. Like we could literally feel it when we were on the live call and the coaching. So I gave her an assignment. I told her, you go and do this. And if you do this work on yourself, you're going to experience a change. So I had her celebrating her debt and I had her go and do the assignment. So she went and did the assignment. Now, here's what I want you to understand. If you do the work, the miracles will unfold. That's it. But you got to show up. You got to first believe you would deserve it. First, believe that you have to invest. Do the investment and then invest your time and energy in getting the result. So she did it. And listen to this. It's like, I love this kind of evidence. So she goes and does the assignment, and it must have been 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, also, she's celebrating her debt by now. She's feeling good about it. She recognized that her debt was a blessing. It was something that not everybody even has an opportunity to get. She celebrated all the things she got to buy with it. And then her family reaches out to her out of the blue and offers her $10,000 for her upcoming move. Now, I want you to know, like, this is why I teach in Money Miracles how to open up your body, how to open up your energy field to receive money that you didn't work for. So many women think, I have to work for the money, and because I have to work for the money, I can't see how the money can come because I only make $1,000 a week. And if I only make $1,000 a week, how could I ever make $15,000 this month? Because that doesn't add up. I can only possibly make $4,000 this month. So the women are stuck in logic, and if you're stuck in logic, you miss the miracle because a miracle isn't logical. So what I'm training the women to do in Money Miracles, we're literally unlearning and reprogramming. So what we're doing is not only in the belief, in the mindset, we are going through breath work, we're going through meditations, we're going through activations. I am reprogramming your nervous system for you to feel safe charging more money. I'm reprogramming your nervous system to feel safe, saying yes to something that is big and feels out of reach. I'm reprogramming your nervous system. Actually, I'm helping you do it, right? Like you have to do the work, but I'm guiding you to reprogram your nervous system to hold a bigger vision versus collapsing at the, I can't afford it, I don't know how, it doesn't make sense, I don't see a way. Now, how many of you are feeling into this and feeling like, yes, I've done these things to myself. I've done this. Now, I want you to know that like this happens to the best of us. I can remember sitting in front of the flower bin at Trader Joe's and thinking, these flowers are so beautiful. These flowers are so beautiful. And yes, I have a couple $100 in my bank account right now, but I don't know. Do I really want to spend $7 on roses? They're just going to die in 5 days. Like, do I really need them? And I remember feeling the feeling of like going to a restaurant and knowing that I'm getting a lunch already. Do I really need the appetizer just because it sounds delicious and yummy? Do I really need to add on that shrimp cocktail even though I'm having a lunch that's going to fully fulfill me? These little ways of living in survival mode, we forget that we are meant to indulge in the delights of this physical world. And I want you just to take that in. We are designed to delight in the delights of this physical world, especially as a woman. A woman that is turned on in her radiance, she understands delight. She understands what it's like to do the things just because it's going to make her feel beautiful. She understands what it's like to do the things just because it's going to make her feel alive. She understands that feeling beautiful, feeling alive, feeling in joy is part of what makes her abundance. And she's going to have more money the more happy, the more confident, the more radiant she feels. And this is not some mind fuckery, ladies. This is actual science. Like literally, I have felt like I look younger at 38 than the photos of me at 28. And it's because when I was 28, I was living in fear and scarcity, and I was so unworthy feeling. I was worthy, but I was feeling unworthy. So I want you to understand that you may be thinking about joining me for this program. And look, you could be thinking about joining me for private coaching, but private coaching with me right now is this. So just so you know, for 1 month right now, it's $4,700. If you do 3 months, which only has biweekly sessions, it's $10,000, okay? So I want you to think about this. Working with me for $10,000 a month, or you can get into this program and you can do monthly payments, or you can do a paid in full and get 5 coaching sessions. So this is something this is my belief. If you are so sick and tired of saying no to the things that delight you, to the things that bring you more joy, if you're so sick of living in that restricted life, you can't afford to miss this. You really can't. And I don't say that because I want your money. My money's going to come regardless, right? It's not attached to any one person's yes, but your yes is attached to your happiness. And if you're saying yes to your happiness and saying yes to your growth, your life's going to change. And you deserve that. You deserve it. Ken, we have a man in here. Can we just say yes to him? Like, I love when men show up in that like sacred masculinity and they're willing to do the work. He says, I've done another money self-help program and it has been life-saving to my stress and relationship. I support Nicole and all that you do. And when we think about money, I can't afford this program. I have more money sitting in my account today than I ever had. I am only 2 years into this process and it's an investment. It pays off. Ken, I celebrate you. Like, you know, Ken is not a friend that we talk on the phone or nothing like that. I know Ken from like my hometown. I haven't like no connection in that way. Like he's not getting an affiliate or nothing. But I want you to understand that the way that we relate to our money, what Ken says, it does so much to our stress levels and our relationships. Not being able to afford something and constantly living in the pressure, it feels like life is hard and it feels like money is scary. What that basically does for you is the next time there's an unexpected bill, which hello, there's always going to be those. The next time there's an unexpected bill, the next time there's something that shows up, the next time someone gets sick, you are going to go into crisis mode because you don't know how to navigate that. You're going to go in crisis mode because you don't know how to open up to have that relationship with infinite intelligence that says, show me how I can afford this. Show me what I need to do. Show me what I need to say. Show me how. I said a prayer before I even got on this Facebook Live. Show me what these people need to hear because I want to help women say yes to something that is going to change their lives forever. And here's the deal. I want you to know that this is for you if you're listening to this. Sashiko says, I feel different even having just signed up for the program. Last night, she actually got her hubby to join in and listen to the replay of the thing I did yesterday. And for any of you that are on here and you're like, I don't know if my husband will be okay with us investing, or maybe you want to get you have to borrow money from a friend, or maybe you're asking your husband, like, can I do this? Because right now you're a single stay-at-home mom, or not single, you're a stay-at-home mom. That's the acronym I was looking for. Fill them in on this because they want you to make more money too. So she feels different after just signing up for the program. Investing in my upgrade is a reminder that transformation happens in the transaction. Yes. So I always talk about this, that when you say yes to something and you invest in it, there is a transformation that happens in the transaction. And I want you to know, here's the energetics of that. When you invest in something, I know I do it. You know what I do sometimes, you guys? I'm going to tell you this. This is, you can say that it's embarrassing or that it's a weirdo move, but listen to what I do. When something is way out of my price point, like I said, I'm investing in this $85,000 program. And when I look at this $85,000 program, I went onto the sign up page. I put my credit card in there. I put everything in there. And I was like, how's it going to feel when I make this deposit, when I put that money down on this? And I say that I'm the type of woman that invests $85,000 in just one investment for the year for herself. When I say that I'm that kind of woman and that I belong in that energetic reality. And I do that. And I allow myself to feel the feelings and I say yes to it. But I want you to know that you're not going to just like fall and trip into being able to make the $20,000 investment, or to buying the $20,000 a month home, or to giving your family the $20,000 thing when, somebody is sick or when someone needs it. That's not just going to happen accidentally. That is because you decide right now that you are willing to get over your bullshit when it comes to investing in the $400 a month thing, or investing in the $2,000 paid in full. So here's the thing. I'm going to leave you guys with this, because by now, some of you know that this is for you. And like I said, if you cannot afford to invest $200 a month, $400 a month in yourself, you cannot afford to miss this program. I want you to know that, because one thing I can tell you for sure is if you do this work, it is going to change the way you view your money. It's going to change the way you view your worthiness. It's going to change the way you view life, because you see life as you are, not as it is, right? So just feel into that. You see life as you are. That means that you see it through the lens of what's available in your belief system, of what you can have, of what is, the way people are going to treat you. Like, if you think that, this is why coaches don't make money early in their business. I'll tell you why. And this is why they have trouble charging for their services, because they're seeing life as they are. And when they're seeing life as they are, they know that it's hard for them right now. They know that they don't have money right now. They know that their bank account is struggling right now. So their belief that they give to everyone else is, it's hard for women to invest in this program. It takes a lot for them to invest in their program. And what I know now is that women have it on their credit cards. They have it in their savings account. By the way, I have a free $10,000 a month meditation in my Instagram bio link. So go get it if you want to really drop into this and do this even more. But look, there's so much for you. So join this program. I'm telling you, you're going to get I deeply believe in it. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be on here just talking until I am out of breath. I need to take a deep breath. But I want to remind you that right now in this program, the VIP is very intimate. A lot of people are choosing the payment options, and hey, do what you must to get in this. But if you're one of those women that are like, I actually have the money on a card, but I'm also I want to pay. I want to tell you that right now, there's only a few women that are going to be coached by me on 2 bonus VIP sessions. And that means that for that hour, sometimes I go over, you can ask me whatever you want. That means that you're going to be getting coaching. Like I said, it's either $4,700 to do a month with me, or it is $10,000 to do the 3 months. But the $10,000 one is a stretched out. It's not as intense as the 1 month, and that's why it's priced at that. But I want to let you know that the women that are doing VIP, you have that opportunity where you're going to be able to ask me more questions. But I'll tell you this, it still doesn't compare to private coaching, because private coaching, you can let down your guard and you can let go of all of those safety mechanisms because it's all about you. So there's a whole other level of transformation that happens in private, and there's a level of intimacy between you, me, and spirit that we're doing different kinds of work in private. But I'll tell you this, if you are like heart beating fast and you're feeling fear, jumping into a payment plan on Money Miracles, like I said, it's going to be hard for you because it's a whole new paradigm for you to say, yes, I deserve the private. So there's steps, right? There's steps, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just owning the fact that there is a level of survival energy that comes into the, do I need this? Versus the thriving energy of a woman that is successful. And a successful woman believes this. A successful woman steps into something and says, is this going to change my life? Is this going to make me happier? Is this going to make me more at peace? Is this going to help me see my life differently? Is this going to give me one transformation? If this gives me one transformation, this is priceless in my life. It's freaking priceless. I want you to know that if you think that making even let's look at a $10,000 investment, right? Because for some of you joining Money Miracles, you may think that a $10,000 investment is like, holy shit, am I worth that much? If something changed the way you view yourself, I want you to even try to quantify what that can do for you in the course of 1 year. You can't quantify it. It's going to change how you meet and greet every person you ever meet in your whole lifetime. It's going to change the way you relate to your money. It's going to change the way you relate to your pleasure. It's going to change the way you relate to your boundaries. We can't even begin to quantify this. But if you keep putting the value of your money at a higher value of your own joy, peace, and pleasure and growth, you're never going to be who you are meant to truly be. You just won't. And that's just a reality check that we all have to have with ourselves. The reason why my friends and I, we did this weekend event, this is the last thing I'm finally going to say. And otherwise, ladies, join Money Miracles because it's going to change your life. Like literally, if you do the work, you will receive a miracle, because this work isn't me just talking at you. I guide you into your own truth. I guide you into your own body. I help you notice what you're feeling. I help you notice your triggers. I help you feel into what your nervous system is responding to. And I help you recalibrate it to be more in safety, to be more in pleasure, to be more in receiving mode. Now, when I did this program with my friends, I shared on my podcast, I didn't even really want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm beyond that. I have that information already. I already did the program 4 times. But I did the program, and what happened was, being in the energy with the people made me feel good. And having my sisters in it and doing it with my friends felt even better. And it was fun. It got me lit up. But what I realized is I want to do this with a bunch of people that are playing at a much bigger game. So that's why I decided I want to do the really big investment. And even me just deciding and playing with that identity of who I am, making that kind of investment, plus investing in the other things and taking my daughter on trips and doing the things I'll do otherwise, it already made me feel different. And that's what happens when we start playing with possibilities. So ladies, you can't afford to delay your transformation for another day if you really are willing to experience something new. So I invite you to join me. For those of you that are considering private coaching, I'm going to take on 2 people for the month of August. I'm enrolling you now, but we're going to start first week of August. You can't afford to wait another month if you're really ready to feel something different. Like, don't delay. Why would you delay it? Say yes, surrender, feel the faith, step into it, and let whatever triggers, whatever shadows, whatever fears, whatever crap is going to bubble up, let's welcome it. Let's feel it. Let's allow it, because together we're going to transmute it. But otherwise, it's always going to stay there. It's just going to stay there, and it's going to keep haunting you. It's going to keep showing up for you. And you really can't afford to keep living like that if you really want to experience that next level of peace, joy, and abundance. So friends, I'm sending you love, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.